All right, morning everyone. Welcome to another edition of what feels like the Daily Low Show. Man, what a drop we had late last night. The moment the futures markets open, absolutely crazy. Didn't see it coming, didn't expect it. Not that sudden anyway. But let's get into the charts. I think Matt is on his way to Dubai for that fight. He's coming out of retirement for another fight. Um, Monthly chart. This is how the month closed. The month was, it closed relatively okay at 90,000. If you guys recall what I said yesterday or on the last show, if you guys recall what I said on the last show, I really needed Bitcoin to close above 95,000 in order for it to really create momentum going into next month. That did not happen. And I didn't really see the Bitcoin market crashing that quickly. The moment the futures markets opened at like 8 p.m. Eastern time. And what that tells me is Bitcoin is a very illiquid, very immature asset still. And it tells me that Bitcoin has a long way to go before the price can be stable. Do I think this is some kind of manipulation? Not really. It literally means it's super easy to move the price of Bitcoin. Like $10,000 price of Bitcoin, easy to move it with any institutions with money, even like a single rich person with money can just move Bitcoin 15, 20%. That's not the case for any other major assets. It's a lot harder to move other major assets, but it's pretty easy to move Bitcoin around. So in terms of trading, what does that mean on a bigger picture? That means that you should not be in any leveraged long-term trades on Bitcoin. It means that you can still take on your 5x, 10x, 20x, as long as you're like watching the market and you have your stop losses, or you're watching the market with your hand on the mouse. Like, hey, I can sell at any moment. The moment it starts to move. Also, clearly, you don't want to be in a trade, right at market open, right at 9:30 in the morning, right at near market close, especially on a Friday close, futures close. And clearly, based on today, you should never be in a leveraged trade in Bitcoin going into futures market open. So futures open is 8 p.m. Eastern time, sometimes 7 p.m. It depends on daylight savings, which is one of the most retarded things the world has ever implemented. So you don't want to be in that market because clearly, it just dropped like $5,000 in 3 seconds. And a lot of it is bot trading, but it's just bot trading. It's not like it's AI trading. It's bot trading based on human algorithms. Okay. So the monthly chart is starting off going lower. And I don't see how Bitcoin is not going to make a new low. And I'm going to repeat exactly how I said. I just don't see a scenario where Bitcoin avoids a new swing low. And now we start to debate, where is the swing low? So let's go to the weekly chart. We have a swing low 2 weeks ago, just below 81. We have a swing low close earlier this year at 78.5. And we have a swing low for the year of 74.5. Based on the last 8 hours, I just don't see how Bitcoin does not go below 74. If we recover anywhere above 71, the only thing I'm looking at for a recovery is a weekly MRI buy. And I'm not going to be comfortable with a weekly MRI buy at 78. I mean, I'm not. I mean, you guys can go 100x long. I'm not going to be comfortable with 100 with an MRI buy at 78 because it creates a double bottom. Daily chart, complete disaster. We just erased like a week and a half of gains in 8 hours. It's a red star candle. It got rejected right at the moving average. It got rejected right at the prior area of breakdown. And this breakdown is even bigger. You're about to break the acceleration line. And I don't see anything that would slow down this crash in Bitcoin. Not surprising, we got rejected by the moving average. I'm sure I've mentioned it on prior streams. I was enjoying the holiday weekend. I was actually at a family birthday, my aunt's 76th birthday, when this whole crash happened. There it is. There's the futures open. 7 p.m., I think, because it's like winter time, right? So it dropped right before the futures open, and right there, futures opened. And it basically broke all possible support. All support. I mean, support was back here. The moment Bitcoin broke below 89, it was over. I mean, that's support. 89 was support. That's the prior swing high. It had an MRI top. It had this awesome candle right there. This looks like at noon on Wednesday. We got rejected by the MRI resistance line, and we hit an hourly MRI top, marking the top, and down we go. There was an MRI buy on the hourly going into midnight, promising. I was already in bed. I was already asleep. If I wasn't asleep and in bed, what would I have been expecting? I would have been expecting a rise off the MRI buy into the area of the breakdown, and then I would have expected a rejection. But we couldn't even make it that far, which means Bitcoin is weaker than even I would have expected it off the MRI buy bounce. And that's not a good thing at all. At 78, isn't that a W pattern reversal? Displaying the wrong comment. Yes, that is a W pattern reversal, which I don't like to trade. There is an infinite number of TA patterns. I do not like to trade the W pattern. I don't. In my experience, double bottoms are broken 70% of the time. I do not buy double bottoms. A W bottom is a double bottom. I don't like them. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Yeah, it looks worse than the 1-hour chart. I mean, there's a 4-hour MRI buy coming soon. Maybe there's a chance, but broken the MRI resistance line. Everything is just bad. The daily chart is just getting started based on the MRI. So it looks absolutely terrible. No 10 a.m. reversal either. So you got nothing. You got nothing. I'm assuming the stock market is crashing as well. I haven't looked at it yet, but let's see. I would be surprised if the stock market is rallying. It's not. Stock market is dropping, but the stock market still looks bullish to me. This is the crazy part. The crazy part is stock market looks bullish and Bitcoin is bearish. Very, very peculiar. I prefer the 1 hour chart. Let's wait for the hourly MRI buy. Maybe the next hourly MRI buy can bring us to 89. But man, I think we're gonna be at 71 probably by end of the year at this point. Like I am so happy I exited all my Bitcoin trades. I'm not so happy with the silver trade I have. I exited on Friday, but I'm happy I exited. I'm not happy with that trade though, but I'm still gonna short silver again. It's not going to $1,000 an ounce. I'm gonna short silver again, and I'm gonna get all that money back. Well, we'll talk about silver in a few minutes. I mean, now I'm starting to think March 18th is gonna be the low. Now I'm starting to think March 18th is gonna be the low. Like a few months ago, I would have said March 18th is going to be the high for the cycle, and then we go down. But March 18th might be the low. And then we start a new run to the upside. I'm saying likely a price top, but should change that. Or bottom. This is... these charts are not useful right now. Oh, Bitcoin dominance is rising. At least there is something good to look at. Something good's happening in this world. We're gonna go look at some shit coins, and we'll make ourselves feel better. Gold. I think gold has. Let me phrase this super carefully. I believe gold has topped, but what does that mean? What does oh yeah, let me hide that comment. What does it mean gold has topped? This is a monthly candle. This is the candle that I believe will top gold. But today is December 1st. We have 31 days. And in fact, when I look for a top on an MRI candle, it means candle before, candle of, and candle after. So when I say gold has topped, it means that it could have topped last month, but this month it already made a higher swing high. So it can top this month, but it can also top next month. I don't think it's going to top next month. And I'll tell you why I don't think it's going to top next month. So that means I believe gold has topped this month. But this month is only 1 day in. So we can certainly go higher. Ideally, you want the intra-candle high to take place inside the MRI candle. Now, if these were daily candles, I would hope for today would be the new swing high in gold, and then we go down. So it's very likely that this month will provide a brand new swing high in gold above 4,400, maybe even above 4,500, creating like a perfect version of the MRI top. Like over here, see, there was an MRI top back here, and we topped on the following candle, and then we consolidated for like 3 months, made a green star, and rallied to a new MRI top. So let's go to the weekly chart and let's see if we can time it on a weekly scale. So based on a weekly scale, we have like 7 more weeks of upside, which is 2 months of time. So the only way to get a weekly MRI top in gold inside a monthly MRI top in gold is if the monthly tops not this month, but next month, which is possible. So when I say gold has topped, it means that I'm expecting a gold top before the end of January. And if we are making new highs in February, then I'm wrong. So I have a 2-month window, but I don't want to wait 2 months to see a gold top. I'm actually expecting it on current monthly candle. But the weekly candle is very, very bullish. So I'm not ready to short gold yet. Okay? I'm not ready to short gold because the weekly is bullish. It's breaking to new highs. It just gave us a brand new weekly high close. I'm not going to chase gold to the upside at this level, obviously, but this is not the time to short gold. So I'll just keep an eye on the chart and see when gold is coming into a top. On a daily scale, we may reach a daily MRI top this week. So this week should be a daily MRI top. Let's see if we avoid breaking the MRI resistance line and then reverse on Thursday, something around Thursday. Now let's look at silver. Let's see what's happening with silver. So silver had its MRI top last month. This is why I shorted silver last month, in the month of November. But again, I don't know how many times I have to explain it to the ignorant people. When I say silver has topped on a monthly scale, I have a 3-month window for the top in silver. The top could have come 2 months ago, which is October. It clearly did not. I thought it did because of what the candle looked like being a reversal candle, but it did not. Then I thought so the top is coming on the MRI top candle. But you also have to think about gold. They are both precious metals. They are driving each other up and they are driving each other down. So silver was ahead of gold. Silver had a monthly MRI top in November, but gold has a monthly MRI top now, this month. Okay? So that's the main difference between the two. And now they are pretty much aligned. Now gold has reached its 3rd consecutive MRI top. I don't think that has ever happened in history. And gold has a hell of a history. Okay? Let's go to the annual gold chart. Let's see how far back this chart goes. This chart only goes to 1975. There might be a longer chart of gold going back in time. But even going back to 1975, we've never had a 3 consecutive MRI tops in gold. It's never happened. We've gotten 2. And look what happened when we hit the 2nd consecutive MRI top in gold back in 2011. That literally was the top. That was the top. Okay, right there, you can see it. There it is. Now we are in uncharted territory. If you think the world has changed all that much between 2011 and 2024, I'm going to disagree with you all day long. The world now is not that different than 2011. In fact, in 2011, Europe was collapsing in a way more critical way than it is now. Okay? The US was a lot more stable. We can say that the US is collapsing right now a lot more than it was in 2011. But Europe was collapsing a lot more in 2011 than now. So it kind of makes up for it. I mean, I don't understand how Europe is still, like, I don't understand how there isn't like full-blown cannibalism in Europe. Like, I don't understand how Europe still exists. I don't go to Europe anymore. I'm done. I don't like communism, so I don't go to Europe anymore. But to me, gold, this is the top, the monthly top in gold. But that doesn't mean that it can't make a high next month. It just doesn't mean that. So silver, if gold is topping this month, so will silver. Now let's zoom in on silver on a weekly scale. And we're going to go down in time. So on a weekly scale, I'll show you guys where my exit was, by the way. I did lose money on the trade, obviously. So on a weekly scale, I really thought this was the top right here. The MRI top, weekly MRI top, right before the monthly MRI top. The monthly MRI top started with this candle. And we had extension A, extension C, MRI top, and now we have extension B. So, but we now started a whole new set of extensions in silver on a weekly scale. So based on a weekly chart, just like with gold, silver is very bullish from a weekly perspective. On a daily perspective, we have something else brewing in silver. On a daily perspective, we have a cup and handle. I'm going to delete these arrows. Clearly, they did not work out. On a daily scale, we have a cup and handle. And as I stated in my video on Wednesday, I was going to get out if the cup and handle is going to be broken. So right here, that's the exit right there. That was the exit. The break of the cup and handle right there. I think I got out like, but it wasn't this price of silver. It was the future, which is a little bit different. But it was in the vicinity of 54.50 something. Once it broke 54.50, it was over. So the cup and handle has a low, has an $8 move to the downside. So the cup and handle target is an $8 move to the upside. Am I taking the bullish trade? I'm not. Can we go up $8 off the cup and handle top? We can. We certainly can. And that would give me a new opportunity to short silver. So now I'm eyeing to short silver again when it reaches a daily MRI top. I don't know at what price, but I will be eyeing the daily MRI top in silver for another shot at the short. I don't understand how someone can look at this chart and not see an unsustainable exponential rise. I don't. Again, you can make the argument that America is collapsing, the dollar is collapsing, and silver is going to go up forever. I have bet against that my entire trading career, and I don't see America collapsing this year. I mean, I don't. It can happen. I mean, that's why we hold Bitcoin, right? Why short a bull trend? Because it's not a bull trend. It's an exponential, unsustainable rise. There is a, I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say it. Like, how many times have I said it? There is a difference between a bull trend and an exponential rise. I try to time a short on an exponential rise because these trades only come around once a decade. The S&P has been in a bull trend for 15 years. I have not once was interested in shorting the S&P. But if the S&P goes into an exponential rise, I will be interested in shorting the S&P. It doesn't matter. Here it is in log scale. It's an exponential rise, guys. I don't understand. I mean, this is an exponential rise. Here it is in 1980. Here it is in 2011. And here it is right now. Even in log scale, it's an exponential rise. Okay. I expected this to be the top in silver. We had a daily MRI top inside a weekly MRI top right before a monthly MRI top. This was the top. I missed the original short. I got a chance to short over here around 50, and I exited at 55. Well, right before 55. I'm going to try again. I think silver is going back into the 30s. And if I can catch silver, shorting it above 60 and driving it all the way to 30, I'll take that trade. I don't know how many of you were trading futures markets in 2011. I don't think you understand what happened in 2011. Do you guys realize that in 2011, everyone thought gold was going to $20,000? Right here in 2011, everyone thought gold was going to 5,000. Everyone thought silver was going to 500. It is not different. Here is 2011. There's silver on a weekly MRI top or daily. Look at that daily MRI top on silver in 2011. Right there. April 2011, right there. Weekly MRI top with extension C. Everyone thought silver was going to 200 or higher. Everyone. And look what happened 2 weeks later. It was down at 30 bucks. And eventually went down to like 15 or something. What was the low? Yeah. Went down to $13. $13. Like what has changed? What has changed? What makes silver more valuable today than in 2011? Thoughts on Tom Lee saying Ethereum 7K by end of year? It sounds like Tom Lee has a lot of Ethereum. That's my only thought on the matter. Someone is saying speculation. Yes, but that again, how is that different than 2011? AI and computer chips make silver more valuable. No, how is that different than 2011? Silver was needed in computer chips in 2011 also. It's not that much silver, guys. But I tell you what, at a price of 57, it's a lot more profitable to mine silver. So there's going to be way more silver being mined for the market to use. It's not profitable to mine silver at 20 bucks. Very profitable to mine silver at 60. I'm expecting the market to be flooded with mineable silver. The 2011 run started at $4. Okay, sure. Why does that matter? I don't think it was $4. It started at $8. Close. I mean, if we go back to 2000, yeah, I guess it was $4. Okay. But remember, silver was also $50 back in 1980. Tops on an MRI top as well, by the way. This is why I trust the MRI. Look at that top in 1980. MRI top extension C. And then in 2011, on a weekly scale, the weekly didn't give it to us. The monthly did. The monthly and the daily did. The weekly missed it. Whoa, so silver actually hit $11. That was the low. Look at that. Silver was started at 11. And it also got here way faster. Whoa, what happened there? That needs to be higher. Oh, no, wait. No, that doesn't need to be higher. I was using, needs to go there. Yeah, but this will probably go higher for now. I don't know where the thing will be. All right, enough of that. S&P, already talked about it. Let's look at MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy on a weekly scale has an MRI buy. This could be the low. Tough trade though. Tough trade. I'd wait. I'd wait a little. Here's your end of month numbers for December for the ETFs. Not all the numbers are in yet, maybe later today. But it's been a bad month. One of the worst, actually. All right, guys. I'm going to get going. I got to do some Cyber Monday shopping. Thank you all for watching. And see you all on the next one. All right. Bye, guys. Yeah, Bitcoin's not looking good.